We get you ready for 49ers and Cowboys, man. That's for the right to appear in the NFC title game. Somebody on the Otis Bird III YouTube page text line says, Tim Kalishaw keeping expectations low. San Jose Jazz fan says, is he trying to pull a Pete Carroll on us? Well, no, he doesn't work for the team. He's not representing the Dallas Cowboys. He's representing his own opinion. And one of the reasons why his opinion in Dallas matters about sports is because he's going to give you the old what for. He's not going to give you the homer answer. And the truth is the 49ers are favored in this game. They're favored rightfully so. They're favored because they've got the defense that can slow down the offense that you saw Tampa be able to do very little against last night, all things considered. 49ers minus 3.5. Let's get to the real nitty-gritty here, Ray. 49ers minus 3.5. The over-under is 46. I like the 49ers to cover, and I think I would play the under.
I thought the under would be good last week, too, and I got my hat blocked. So I'm going to lay off of that. But I do know that there has been early Dallas money coming in because it opened at 4.5. And they let the wise guys bet into that. They drove it down to 3.5 where it sits now. It may go back up a little bit because public money tends to come in late, but this looks like probably a game that you would like the 49ers more to cover just because I don't know how Dallas scores more than 17. That's the thing that I can't get away from because while Dalton Schultz is a hell of a receiver, I don't think he's a guy that's going to command two guys. I don't know that CD Lamb is such a dynamic player that you've got to cover him with two. And it does sound, at least according to Tim, like they still have a thing for Zeke Elliott that is not justified by the numbers. So I think they might have trouble getting up and down the field in a way that they didn't last night.
And the 49ers can take away things that Tampa simply could not take away. And as Tim Kalishaw just said, he's not sure that the Dallas Cowboys can take away what the 49ers are going to want to do, and that is run the football straight down their throats. That's a hard thing to take away for teams that are good at stopping the run. Nobody said the Dallas Cowboys are good at stopping the run this year. So that is the advantage that the 49ers have, and if they want to load the box in order to take that advantage away, well, now you turn to Brock Purdy. And the one thing that, God bless Tim Kalishaw, where he said something that I don't know if you can just say it out loud. It seems like the right thing to say, given the fact that experience matters and tasting playoff football matters, and Dak has tasted it more often than Brock Purdy has, but not dramatically much more. And I'm going to tell you, last night, Dak Prescott, he threw one more touchdown or accounted for one more touchdown than Brock Purdy did. But otherwise, Brock Purdy had maybe even a better day. Maybe even a better day than what Dak Prescott had in what could have been the best game he's ever played. To say that Dak Prescott has got to be the best quarterback on that field by theoretical default, I understand why Tim said that. But by actual practice and naked eye tests, I don't know if I could just agree to that right now. The more talent, more arm talent. All right, if that's the way you want to measure it, maybe. But I have seen nothing out of Brock Purdy to start listing the things that he is not good at or doesn't do well ahead of anybody in this league. Because I don't even think we know yet.
Well, we don't know. And what I took away from what he said was that Dak Prescott has to be better for them to win. That I agree with. He's got to be as good, if not better, than he was last night because Tampa didn't offer much resistance at any point. And, Schultz was wide open all night long. And it's not like he's a secret. It's not like he hasn't done stuff like this during the regular season. He's a guy you have to guard.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and he was open, and they had a field day. Now, the 49ers can probably take some of that stuff away, but if they take a lot of it away, then Dak Prescott can't be the better quarterback on Sunday. And if he's not the better quarterback on Sunday, like I said, I don't know how they get more than 17.
It's going to be a huge, huge uphill battle for a team that got everything they wanted last night out of a game plan to get the same thing out of a game plan against the 49ers defense. The amount of talent on Dallas's offense is, I think, considerable. Tim Cowlishaw even said maybe a touch overrated, but the talent that the 49ers have on their defensive side of the football just means that they're going to make life so much harder for Dak Prescott and company than Tampa Bay was able to do last night. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I don't think there's any doubt about that in anyone in Dallas's mind. They're going to have to, it feels like, they're going to be held against that level of perfect standard that I don't know if the 49ers need to play a perfect game to beat them. I'm not trying to go pie in the sky. The Niners are that much better because, as we've also demonstrated, the difference between the best team in football and the worst team in football is a smaller gap than anything else. The 49ers and Cowboys, this is a fair fight, without a doubt.
No, I think it's a fair fight. I think the one thing that the 49ers are vulnerable, the one place where they are vulnerable is in pass defense. Against the run, they're second in football. So I don't know that introducing every series with a handoff to Ezekiel Elliott is a grand strategy, because all you're doing is guaranteeing yourself 2nd and 9. The Cowboys will have to be more dynamic offensively, and they will have to figure out a way to stop the 49ers from running the ball, and they are at best an average defense against the run. There's nothing special about what they do or how they do it. So they do have to be close to perfect. I think the 49ers, as long as they maintain their possessions, they don't have to be. They can punt the ball away a few times and get away with it. I think Dallas's efficiency is that they need to be able to have long, concerted drives and get something out of them. I'm not worried about Brett Maher. I think he'll be fine on Sunday. But I think the Cowboys have to figure out a way to have the ball a lot longer than the 49ers do. And I'm not sure that they're capable of that.
I don't think that they are either. I mean, to me, Kyle Shanahan is going to have an opportunity to get his, to hit the numerical goals that he just writes down on the whiteboard before every single game. He's going to want his 20-plus first downs. He's going to want his 30-plus carries. He's going to want his more than 150 rushing yards. I think he gets those things against Dallas. And that goes a long way to delivering the 49ers into the win column.
Oh, he'll run a minimum of 30 times. I don't think there's any question. But the one problem that I see that they could have is if they turn the ball over 3 or 4 times, minimum, or they can't get the Cowboys offense off the field. And I think it's not likely that they'll be able to do that, but if the Cowboys can maintain possession and have the ball 36, 37 minutes, I think they've got a counterpuncher's chance.
Sure. I mean, if the best defense in football has its worst afternoon outside of the Raiders game and the Chiefs game, things get more difficult. And if they start coughing up the football left and right, yeah.
But if they only score 20, but they have the ball the whole day, that gets it done just as well. So it's not about putting up a ton of points as much as it is not letting the 49er offense on the field long enough to do stuff. They have to get ahead early. They have to stay ahead, and not just by a point like Seattle. They've got to be up like 17-7 at the break and then make Kyle Shanahan punch uphill.
From the Xfinity Mobile text line, do you guys think the 49ers should run at or away from Micah Parsons? I think you got to find a balance there. I think you got to kind of use his aggressiveness against him the same way that some of the best game plans against Nick Bosa used his aggressiveness against him. I think you got to run into the space that his pass rush creates and fool him a little bit. The thing is Micah Parsons is the real deal. Every bit of the real deal defensive player Nick Bosa is. And he needs to be accounted for at all times. There is no denying that he is a level of difference maker that can change the way a football game comes out in the wash. So that's job one all day long offensively. Where's Micah Parsons? And then we'll deal with the 10 other guys around him.
I think they have to do that, but I don't think they're going to change how they run the football because of him. Simply because I believe they think they can run the ball on anybody, Micah Parsons or no, because Micah Parsons, as good as he is only one of 11. And there are other places to run. You can run at him if you think he's going to try to, bull rush inside or, try to take a wide path. I don't think they're going to make any special.
Did you almost say wide nine? Did you almost go full on NFL lingo?
I did
drop
not.
A wide nine?
No.
You almost did. You thought about it.
I did not. I was looking for the right word, and it wasn't nine. I don't think they're going to worry. I don't think they're going to worry that much about Micah Parsons. Not in a way that says we have to run away from him because he's too fearsome. They've run the ball on everybody, so I don't know if they're going to make special plans for him.
Look, DeMarcus Lawrence is good. Haskins is good. Anthony Barr is pretty good. Leighton Vander Esch is pretty good. They got a good defense. They really do.
But I think they're going to make him prove it on against the run because that defense is much better against the pass because they've got guys who can rush. I don't know how well they can plug gaps.
I mean, are you going to get the best out of Trayvon Diggs or are you going to get the worst out of Trayvon Diggs? Because it feels like there's two different players waiting to happen on any particular Sunday in Trayvon Diggs. Sometimes he looks unbeatable. Other times he has proven himself to be quite beatable.